Welcome, everyone. This is Kaleen O'Connor. I am joining you from Florida, USA, the Gulf Coast. It's actually been a little cold here. I always feel weird when I have to turn my heat on, but it's fantastic nonetheless. We're coming, well, I guess we're still in the midst of the holiday season because we're going to be ushering in the new year. And I know that 2021 is going to be an amazing year for all of us. It's just going to keep getting better and better. And I really want to thank you for joining us. If it's nighttime like it is for me, or if it's morning time, wherever you are on this planet in this time zone, we've got phenomenal speakers here. And we are, as a trio, committed to making sure that we add value to your life, because we know that time is precious and that you're choosing to share some of it with us and learn about a phenomenal health breakthrough that is definitely changing lives all over the world. It has personally changed mine and my own family's life. And this is why I'm so passionate about helping to make sure people know all about it. So I'm going to invite you tonight to dive into the world of cellular health. We're going to go deep into those cells and really orient you a bit on things you may already know, things you may not know in terms of how the body heals itself and repairs itself. And then what, as the science and medical world and our own company that we work with has come to understand, that it's made incredible breakthroughs possible that really give the power back to you and to me, in terms of this is such an important time on the planet to really be strong and well and whole and focus on how do I maintain wellness. So that's really the flow of what we're going to go over with you on this webinar. And our first guest, we're going to have two other live speakers, and then I'm going to come back around and sort of bring us back to square one, and how you can take advantage of various resources. And we always invite you to write down questions, put them in the chat box. We will do our best to get to them at the end of the webinar. Okay, so with that, I'm going to introduce our first guest. This is Mr. Stevie Aquilina. Even though he lives on the other side of the world from me, I've actually had the pleasure of meeting him and his beautiful wife, and am touched by his passion for people, for his family, for his community, the knowledge that he continues to bring to us every week on this webinar. And so trust me, you are in for an incredible treat. Sit on the edge of your chair. And with that, Stevie, let's get the party started.
Yes, the party. I like to party, especially if it's a Christmas party. This is my most favorite time of year. And we're kind of in that middle part where I'm like still enjoying it and I don't want it to end, but it's getting closer. But it's only the beginning of 2021, which I'm really excited about. So Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays, season's greetings. I don't know what you like to say, but from whatever part of the world you're in and wherever your spiritual beliefs are and however your heart beats, it's just a good time of year to, come together and appreciate each other and just remember peace and unity and generosity and kindness. And I just love this time of year. So I'm really glad to be here with you all, and I'm glad you're tuning in. You could be doing many other things at this time of year and you decided to be here with us. So thank you very much. And thank you so very much, Kaleen. I really appreciate you and Hamilton and your awesomeness. I really love being able to work with great people like you, because you're making a great difference, not just in your part of the world, but around the entire world. So thank you very much. Appreciate you. And hey, there's greatness within every single one of you. And so maybe this year has shocked a few of you and not been so great, but we've had some time to figure it out now. And I'll repeat myself, there's greatness within you. You don't need to find it. You just need to know that it's there and how to tap into it. And this is the place to do it. This is the place where you can believe, belong, and become more. So let me just share my screen with you here really quick, and we'll jump into this. As Kaleen said, my family and I are from Australia, in case you couldn't tell by my Crocodile Dundee accent. We're originally from Sydney, but now we live on the Gold Coast, and that was really a dream come true when we can make that happen. We're minutes from beautiful beaches, mountains, rainforests, coastal cities, theme parks. We absolutely love it. I'm very, very blessed in my life to have the income, time, and freedom that really allows me to enjoy a great lifestyle with my family. It's also taken us to many parts of the world that were once way too far out of our reach. But let me tell you the truth, good vibes and good times. It's not always been the story. I was a difficult child to parent and school. I never made the grades, was often told I was stupid and useless. When you're told something often enough, especially while young and impressionable enough, you start to believe it. So later on, I became a teenage runaway and a high school dropout. And with that kind of thinking, I walked myself way off track on life's journey throughout my teens and 20s. I had more than 20 different jobs in less that time. For over a decade, I was a very dumb but very good looking bouncer in what used to be the most popular nightclubs in Sydney. Okay, I was kidding about the good looking part, but really not about the dumb part. I had very big dreams. I wanted very much to be, do, and have more. I really wanted most of all to give more, but I had little self-esteem. And so I'd done little with myself and therefore really had little to give, I felt. Now, physically, I've always been athletic, mainly in martial arts, even to right now. Back then though, I had health troubles. Autoimmune disorder, inflammatory issues, severe skin, respiratory, and gut conditions most of my life, and lots of bad injuries. Financially, I got myself stuck in go nowhere jobs with hopes going nowhere. No prospects, no financial security, no financial dignity. Phone, electricity, and gas cut off. Not able to run my car on anything more than petrol fumes. I've not been able to make the rent. I've been evicted. Not once, but many times, unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to say, no financial dignity. I've always believed in possibilities, but doubted my potential. I was trapped, feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, and frustrated because I wasn't able to be who I wanted to be. But something very fortunate happened to me. Well, lots of things. Not all life is doom and gloom. But first, I met the girl of my dreams, and right then and there, more than ever before, I wanted to become more. She believed in me, always told me I was more. I guess if you told something often enough. And another very fortunate thing that happened to me is that I was introduced to this company's life-changing breakthrough opportunity and training. The company leaders are extremely successful people. They believed in me too and taught me how to believe and become more. And so look, today, instead of having health and wealth problems, I've solved them, not just for me, but for many other people because of this life-changing breakthrough. Instead of financial insecurity and indignity, I have security. I have dignity because of this life-changing opportunity. And instead of being trapped, unfulfilled, unhappy, frustrated, I now have more. With the ability to believe and become more because this company's training has shown me a life-changing, better way. Now I want nothing more than to better people's lives in any one of these life-changing ways too. And so what I will speak about first is the first thing that I mentioned, the life-changing breakthrough. What I'm going to share with you is the most significant health and life science breakthrough of our lifetime. Medical experts say this. They say it's a breakthrough that is greater than the discoveries of DNA or penicillin, a very big breakthrough that for 2 decades science had declared was impossible. This is an enormous breakthrough with enormous potential, proven by renowned universities, world-leading laboratory medical studies, a very advanced breakthrough, 15 years ahead of its time. Any health goals or challenges you can think of, remarkable results, and drug companies wanted it shut down. More about that a little later. Before I tell you what this is, let's be clear about what this is not, because this is nothing like anything else you've ever seen before. What we'll be talking about goes well beyond drugs or nutrition, well beyond any type of ingredients or technology you already know about, because what I'm about to show you is an entirely new frontier in science that is truly groundbreaking, that is category creating, that is a healthcare breakthrough. The ASEA Redox cell signaling technology is a drink that contains active redox signaling molecules. What are those? Redox signaling molecules are made by your cells, so they are native to your body. They are your cellular messengers that affect your cell-to-cell communication, function, operation, all the way down to your genetic expression in a positive way. Redox signaling is a remarkable process because it is the actual process that empowers your body to heal itself by telling your cells how to protect healthy cells, repair unhealthy cells, and replace damaged cells. Redox signaling molecules also activate your body's immune system to protect against bacteria, viruses, and infection. Redox signaling is what keeps cells functioning and healing at optimal levels. Why is this all so important? Because we are all made entirely of cells. We live and die, therefore, at the cellular level. Healthy cells, healthy body, healthy life, right? Redox signaling molecules are the keys to life because they are essential for the activation and function of our normal physiology. All of our body's major systems, biochemical or physiological, all of our processes critically depend on redox signaling, because if all of your cells were to suddenly stop making redox signaling molecules right now, you wouldn't live longer than just a few more seconds. Without your redox signaling molecules, life ends. So if our body makes redox molecules already, why do we need to give our bodies more? Well, it's true. When we're born, we do make an abundance of redox signaling molecules. That's generally why children have so much energy, how they can run around all day and not wake up sore the next, how they can bounce back so quickly from an injury or illness. However, as we age, along with stress, poor diet, toxins, and all sorts of other environmental assaults, our cells break down and our body's ability to make redox molecules declines daily. Without as many redox signaling molecules giving clear cell signals, our whole cellular protection and healing process becomes slow. Our cells break down more and more, and so does our health, wellness, youth, and vitality. ASEA takes science seriously and is highly committed to ongoing research with renowned universities and world-leading laboratories, allowing these outside and independently reviewed studies to prove the potential of ASEA redox signaling supplements, demonstrating the safety and efficacy of the ASEA redox products, certifying them as safe and effective in everybody. ASEA is within a very real and significant space of science because redox is based in Nobel Prize-winning research. Yes, since the first Nobel Prize was awarded to these three professors back in 1998 for the first discovery of redox signaling molecules, there have now since been multiple Nobel Prizes awarded for research in this field. If you went along to pubmed.gov, which is where all peer-reviewed medical studies are published, and you typed in redox signaling, you would see well over 33,000 results. There are over 1,500 medical textbooks that have been published on redox signaling, and this slide will already be out of date. There's about 150 studies coming out almost every single month. Very difficult to keep up with. According to medical researchers, and as reported in the Huffington Post too, who wrote about ASEA, redox signaling is one of the fastest emerging fields in science that will shape all of our lives in the coming years. There are now multiple universities who've received tens of millions of dollars in grants to open up redox research centers. There are now global medical conferences and congresses being held about redox. Medical doctors are specializing in redox, with one such professor, a doctor at Harvard Medical School, who has a PhD and title that includes Director of Redox Medicine. And ASEA is already light years ahead. ASEA redox users enjoy cell signaling benefits, which translates to health at its most foundational level. Here's just one example. ASEA redox has been scientifically tested and shown to signal the activation of genetic pathways and affect genes that improve immune system health, help maintain a healthy inflammatory response, help maintain cardiovascular health and support arterial elasticity, improve gut health and digestive enzyme production, and modulate hormone balance to support vitality and wellness. These genes are key in the health of every individual and play a vital role, not just in the 5 mentioned human health areas, but also in dozens of additional genetic pathways. Now, moreover, the ASEA redox has also been scientifically tested and shown to enhance your body's own production and efficiency of antioxidants by up to 800%. Further studies show that ASEA lowers oxidative stress. The head professor of this university study saying that one of the most important effects of ASEA on disease risk factors is its ability to reduce oxidative stress. Now, that is significant because all degenerative health conditions are caused by oxidative stress. And from rigorous toxicology studies, ASEA is proven to be 100% safe, 0% toxicity. Why? Because redox signaling molecules are native to your body. That means they're already in you. Your body already makes them It's just that now your body can't make as much of them as it used to when it was younger and or healthier. And so if you have health challenges, or if you have people that you care about who do, if you have a wish that you could look, live and feel young again, if you have the very good sense for protecting your health because you don't want to become old and unwell, if you have a goal of having higher levels of human performance, greater athleticism, better in sport, bigger and stronger in the gym, whatever, any health goals you can think of, Redox users and medical doctors are seeing just remarkable results. But you don't need to take my word for it. Here are some medical doctors now. Let's listen together as to what they have to say.
Redox signaling molecules are like the DNA whisperer. They signal cells to be healthy. And because of age, because of medications, because of toxicity in the environment, you lose your ability to make the redox signaling molecules. So having them with ASEA simply replenishes what your body is doing natively when you were young. You know, I've been in the business for 40 years, and this is the first time that I've ever heard about the redox signaling molecules, which to me is a breakthrough of the 21st century, akin to the electric light bulb in the 20th century and maybe even the discovery of penicillin. Because your body is a redox signaling program, and to be able to replenish it on a day-to-day basis, internally and externally, is not just a breakthrough, it's a game changer.
Health is something we have to earn. What can I do to get to the root of things and really prevent problems from happening? Is it possible? And the answer is yes.
You know, I think most people don't actually really consider their health until it's gone. So it's the choices that we make today that are going to determine the level of our wellness and our health and our healthy longevity tomorrow.
We want to keep people healthy. We don't want to see that deterioration. The whole process of the anti-aging and regenerative medicine that I'm so passionate about is on the premise that we can maintain energy, we can maintain health.
So prevention is key, but people need to value it, and people need to understand what it is and take responsibility.
Inside every cell in your body, you're constantly producing negative and positive molecules called oxidants and reductants, and the contraction of that name is redox.
So with these molecules, we're amping up that communication. We're helping that cell signal.
Without these cell signaling molecules, we simply wouldn't do the gene replication that we need, the DNA sequencing that we need. These redox signaling molecules interact throughout the body with every cell that we know.
Every cell in our body needs these molecules for communication purposes. The more balanced they are, the more abundant they are, the healthier we are.
ASEA actually has the combination of the oxidants and the reductants that the body makes. So all we're doing with ASEA is enhancing what the body is already doing.
Having a product, a technology that's native to the body doesn't have to worry about detoxifying it because it knows exactly what to do with redox molecules. It's one of, if not the safest recommendation I ever make to a patient.
They found a way to stabilize them outside the body. And you can actually put them back into bodies that are deficient in those molecules. That's a game changer.
To have something that at its molecular level is native to the body is nothing short of a breakthrough.
This is something that's foundational for health, for every cell. It affects every cell in our body. And not just the cells, but the very DNA within those cells. You know, we talk about the discovery of DNA as being a huge breakthrough, the discovery of penicillin. Yes, these were absolutely huge discoveries, but now we have something that actually goes even deeper.
This is where the future lies, and this is why redox chemistry and supplements that employ this are so powerful.
They literally turn on and turn off, signal every single process in every living cell. And to be able to stabilize a product that allows us to replenish that is just a phenomenal breakthrough.
This has the capability to change the landscape of the healthcare system as we know it.
So now that we've spoken about cellular health from the inside out, let's show you what's possible from the outside in. That's made possible by ASEA's topical versions of Redox technology. They are Renew 28 Redox Gel and our intensive Redox Serum. These Redox technologies are supported and enhanced by their complementary all-natural ingredients products, our gentle refining cleanser, and our ultra replenishing moisturizer. But a picture is worth 1,000 words. So let's just show you what our Redox technologies are worth with these amazing health, anti-aging, and age-reversing results. Lines and wrinkles are smoothed out. Elasticity comes back to the skin. Skin blemishes, spots, dots, and marks, irritations, inflammations, aggravations, and other signs of poor health to the skin being rejuvenated. Even the aftermath of some of these unfortunate conditions coming back to the proper surface of the skin. This is Rosie. The dramatic difference you're seeing in the first two pictures on the left could not be seen by Rosie because she did not take those pictures. Rosie actually believed that the products were not working. Rosie went to see her doctor. That's who told her about ASEA and who took these pictures. And when Rosie told the doctor that the products did not work, the doctor showed her these pictures. And I guess the rest of the story can be seen here, right? Everyone says they want to see how ASEA goes, naturally. But Rosie missed the moment by moment, day by day, week by week changes by not taking pictures. And you may miss it too. So please take pictures because that's how you see how it goes. And for anything you can't take a picture of, keep a written record instead. Before your ASEA arrives, make a list of everything about your health: energy, stress, sleep, digestion, mental focus, muscle and joint comfort, endurance, workout recovery, any specific health concerns, challenges, problems that you want to track, and give each item a score on your list from a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very good. And then do this again after 7 days, 30, 60, and 90 days, and so on. Now, some people notice results early on, like Rosie, 7 weeks, others in 7 days. Most people can have an experience in around about 7 minutes. However, some people need to apply more product, more time, more patience, generally when there's more going on with their health. What we know scientifically is that redox molecules are redox molecules. They're the same in you as they are in me, as they are in animals, plants, anything that's alive on Earth, and bottles of ASEA, all the same. Studies show that ASEA redox products have an immediate positive effect on everyone. They work in every single person, every single time. It would be scientifically impossible for them to not work in you and or hurt you, but what does differ from person to person is the time it takes them to notice the change. This doctor decided to do a little experiment of his own on his very own face and use Renew 28 on only half of his face and not the other. Can you spot the difference? Renew 28 is not just for your face, arms and hands, bellies, buttocks, thighs, and all over. These pictures are actually from a world-leading laboratory, a study that was done because there were many reports coming in from all over the world of people saying that their cellulite had disappeared while using Renew 28. So scientists set upon double-blind, placebo-controlled clinical trials to see, was there any truth to these stories? And what they found was after just 12 weeks, there was a 16% reduction in the appearance of cellulite. And when the scientists did ultrasounds to try and discover why this was happening, they saw the subcutaneous fat that was causing the cellulite was actually being dissolved from the use of Renew 28. So Renew 28 helps reduce the appearance of cellulite and wrinkles, enhancing skin texture, smoothing the skin, supporting surface skin cell renewal, not just for visibly younger looking skin, but actual healthier skin. It helps soothe discomfort around skin discomfort after such things as shaving or sun exposure. And Renew 28, however, is not just for the skin. It helps soothe discomfort around the body. And you can know about it in about 10 minutes. If you have some discomfort around your body, rate that discomfort on a scale of 1 to 10. 10 being maximum discomfort. Apply Renew 28 on that point of discomfort 3 times within 5 minutes. Usually 9 to 10 out of every 10 people will notice a soothing or reduction of discomfort within approximately 10 minutes. Now, nothing that I've said here today has been intended to diagnose anything that you're going through, and ASEA does not claim to treat or cure any diseases. I'm going to be back with you in a moment to talk to you about something very significant that you'll probably want all your significant others to know about. It is a very significant opportunity, but first we're going to hear from a very special guest. So I'll throw it back to you. Thanks, Kaleen.
Wonderful, Stevie. Thank you. So next we're going to hear from Dan Doyle. He's joining us from Hawaii. And Dan is just a perfect example of how this health breakthrough changes lives, because he popped over to the US a few years ago and shared this product and breakthrough with a friend of mine. And the two of them shared it with me, and it really has made a significant difference for both me and my family. So Danny, thank you for creating some time tonight to tell us how it's affected your life.
Thanks, Kaleen. Thanks, Steve. I wouldn't miss it for the world, guys. Thanks so much. Been an amazing, different year for us, for everybody, actually. And it's so good to be at the tail end of hope of what's going to be a much better year coming up in 2021. And this year's absolutely flown. It's been amazing for what's actually happened. It's like the beginning of 2020 was yesterday, and all of a sudden we're coming to the end. So this is the second last call of the year. We do have one more tomorrow, which Kaleen will tell you about at the end. But let me go through my story. Thank you. And this is what it's all about, guys. It's all about us creating and telling stories. And for us, we like to help people with their health, but we can also help them financially, which you're going to hear very soon from Stevie, with an incredible opportunity behind us here and behind this incredible breakthrough. So I just want to reiterate what Stevie said just in regards to the product, which is not pharmaceutical, and we obviously can't make claims with what we have. We know how powerful it is, but these products that we're talking about, again, are not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. But we always like to say, with short-term use of these products, or sometimes even long-term use of these products, or short-term use, these products, in particularly the ASEA Redox supplement, the Renew 28, with long or short-term use, these products also are a cure for skepticism, and it helped my father cure his skepticism in a very short period of time. He had a lot of issues, a lot of discomfort in his body, and after what I would consider short-term use, 2 months, he was telling the world about what this product and technology did for him. So my story goes back to Sydney in Australia. As Kaleen said, I'm here in Honolulu in Hawaii now with my wife Suzanne, and growing up in Sydney, in the western suburbs of Sydney, middle-class family, parents working very, very hard, encouraging me to go to school and learn as much as I could, and didn't want me to be in the situation that they were in with multiple jobs. But so I sort of rebelled against that. Not that I skipped out on school, but I distracted myself from playing a lot of sports. And I used to love sports, excel at sports, rugby, judo, gymnastics, aerobics, surfing, and this thing called bodybuilding. And this is the start of me also leaving the traditional employment. I moved away from, a traditional job in corporate, working for one of the big 4 banks. And I recognized that I didn't want to work for anybody else at that time when I was 21 years old, and moved into buying a business in the health and fitness industry. So this is me of being a product of the time, and had multiple businesses in the health and fitness industry, and moving forward, building and selling a lot of traditional businesses over a 20-year period. So fast forwarding here from the age 24 as a bodybuilder to 44 as still somebody who looked after my health, as I do these days at 53, this was coming to the end of me being an entrepreneur. The reason for that is I physically lost my health, and I wasn't expecting it with the way I looked after my health. But unfortunately, with flipping properties back in Australia, I used this horrendous weed killer called Roundup, which led to an issue which I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy, especially with what they put me through. This is a photo of me on the right-hand side, 6 months after that last photo in 2011. This is 2011 now. And doctors gave me some bad news, told me I didn't have 1 but 2 major health challenges. And this is the start of my journey, 2.5 years of hospital visits. This is a friend of mine standing next to me, 21-year-old Johnny Manor. And Johnny played the highest levels of rugby in Australia. He was in remission at this time from a similar situation that I was in. So being in remission, he went back to playing rugby league. And unfortunately, after this photo was taken, his issue came back. He went back into hospital. He lost all his hair again, as I did in this photo, with what they were doing to us. At the time, lost a lot of weight. Unfortunately for Johnny, he didn't come back out of hospital. We lost him at the age of 23 years old. So here I am, started my journey, no hair from the top of my head to my toes, went through that for 2.5 years. And it was the most horrendous time in my life that I've been through. I literally didn't want to live from what they were doing to me in that hospital. And at the end of what I went through, my doctors told me to get my affairs in order. And I was taken back. I thought I was going to be okay. I was in the hands of the people who knew what they were doing with my health. But I quickly learned that I had to take the responsibility of my health back into my own hands, which I did some research, cleaned up my diet, spent a lot of money on nutritional supplements, super juices, antioxidants, alkaline water, did the best that I could for myself because the doctors couldn't help. And this is a photo of me 2 years later looking after my own health. So this is 2 years on a clean diet and spending a lot of money on all different types of supplements. Now, this photo was taken in 2014. And this is when a friend of mine reached out to me and said, I think I found something that can help you. So long story short, I flew from Sydney to Salt Lake City and I started on this supplement called ASEA Redox Cell Signaling Supplement. I started consuming the supplement. In 3 hours, my body was detoxing so fast, I had little red spots all over my upper torso. In 12 hours, a 20-year caffeine intolerance had gone away. Any more than 2 coffees, buckled over in pain, and that issue had gone away. In 48 to 72 hours, this is when the light bulb went on. I had so much lung damage from what they put me through in that hospital. I had trouble breathing and talking at the same time. Well, my lungs were functioning perfect. I went back to Australia. I kept drinking this stuff in a little blue bottle. And long story short, again, 12 months later, end of 2015, this is the day the doctors told me no sign of those 2 major health challenges. Not only that, multiple injuries from playing sports had gone away, which are turning into that crippling issue as people get older, and 20 years of pollen problems, sneezing, runny nose. My whole body was rebuilt from top to bottom in 1 year on this product. Fast forward another 2 years, this is 3 years on the product. So you can see my complexion, you can see what I look on the outside. I always like to go back to 2014, 2 years looking after myself. There was a missing piece of the puzzle, and you know what the missing piece of the puzzle was? Signals and communication to make everything work, not only cut to the chase, but also all that nutrition, all that food, those antioxidants, the alkaline water, everything that I was putting in wasn't working effectively, efficiently without these redox signaling molecules. So what you're seeing on the outside here when I was still very sick, in a lot of trouble with my health, was a reflection of what was going on the inside at the time. And you can see 1 year on the product, the improvements of how I was looking and definitely how I was feeling at the time. And then 3 years on the product, I always say here, my complexion is a reflection of what was going on the inside at that time. So incredible results for me physically with what this product did for me. There was a transition, and what happened was things evolved for me where I went from just taking the product and being selfish for my own health to start, I started sharing this with other people, and it became that responsibility to do that. I wasn't looking for the business side of what ASEA had to offer. I was looking to help people, and it ended up becoming a purpose-filled mission with what this product can do for people. So incredible results physically. I say that the business actually saved my life because it was the thank you checks that I received from helping other people that I invested into more product to saturate my body, to get it to the damage, to get my body heading in the right direction. I've done a lot in life. I've done a lot in traditional business, a lot of experience when it comes to building businesses. This is my first rodeo when it comes to a product-based network marketing company, something where I understood the power of leverage and how we can help the masses just from one voice, the start of one voice. And for me, opening up my mouth and helping a handful of people, when I say a handful of people, about 100 people over the last 5.5 years, that has turned into tens of thousands of people into 33 countries. A lot of people I don't know, a lot of people I'll never get to meet, but just starting that, that conversation in the first place led to somebody that needed this product just as much, if not more, than what I did. And that has created an incredible business for Suzanne and I. It's also allowed us to help people, not just with their health, but also, and as I say in these times, this is a perfect storm for what we have, because people are looking for solutions to their health problems, but they're also looking for something financially at the moment. And I believe that this is the most compelling opportunity that we'll ever come across. And with that, I'll hand back to Kaleen, and we'll hear the the last bit of this presentation. Thanks, Kaleen.
Thank you, Danny, as always. And, Stevie, come back and join us and let us know how the founders of this company have, for the last 10 years, really built a phenomenal, sort of like, one of our founders, talks about, can a corporation have a soul? And, we're all working together to better people's lives and be a force for good in the world. So tell us more about that, how that came about.
Happy to. Thank you very, very much, Kaleen. And thank you so much, Dan. Folks, as I mentioned at the start of the presentation, we're working with some extremely successful people, and Dan is one of those. So I'll be eternally grateful to my best mate there for believing in me long before I could and teaching me how to become more. So thank you, Danny. All right, folks, it is a universal truth that with every great breakthrough comes great opportunity. And ASEA is a life-changing breakthrough. I hope you can feel that by now. And that's created a life-changing opportunity behind all of this to make a living while bettering people's lives. And so here we go. Let me show you what this most compelling opportunity in the world right now, why it's so compelling. ASEA is the world's first and only redox signaling supplement for two very simple reasons. First, for nearly 3 decades now, no one other than just one man, Dr. Gary L. Samuelson, medical atomic physicist, has been able to figure out how to create and stabilize redox signaling molecules outside of the body. Before Dr. Samuelson's breakthrough work, for 2 decades, science had declared that this was impossible. And second, ASEA is heavily patented, but not only is ASEA not allowed to be copied, it can't be copied because there's absolutely no way to be able to look into a bottle of ASEA and figure out how to reverse engineer it because it's not in the bottle. There are trade secrets in the making of ASEA. And so it can't be copied. And that means we have no copycats. And that means we have no competition. No one in the world has what ASEA has. No one. And no other products in the world can do what ASEA does. None of them. Nothing else in the world can get to the depth and level of achievement in the human body as what ASEA can, because redox works on everybody. Everybody needs redox because nothing in the body works as well or at all, in fact, without redox, and redox can't hurt anybody. No other product can make that claim. No juice, pill, super shake, fancy water, CBD oil, or whatever. And so ASEA holds massive opportunities across all health science sectors because it serves all health science sectors, again, at a depth and level of achievement like nothing else can. So whether it be healthcare wellness, whether it be sports science, athletic performance, or whether it be beauty, skincare, aging, longevity, these are multi-trillion-dollar industries. And again, ASEA is the only company in the world that the world can get a redox supplement from, and nothing else can work deeper than redox. And so ASEA is an entrepreneur's dream. Our mission here at ASEA is to better people's lives and to be a force for good in the world. We want to help a lot of people. We can't do that on our own. And so we're looking for people to help spread the word. ASEA gives you the opportunity to earn more money just by sharing redox with others. For people looking for either an extra or part-time, full-time or big time, or maybe a legacy leaving income, for people who have dreams of a better life, income, lifestyle for themselves, for loved ones, there are levels of commissions to meet whatever levels of ambitions. To be able to afford making your goals, dreams, and desires a reality, ASEA helps you create income that is both residual and leveraged. You receive a residual income not only from the first, but all of the repeated purchases made by everyone you refer to ASEA. Because you can refer as many people as you want to, the residual income potential is unlimited. On top, you also receive unlimited leveraged residual income from all of the repeated purchases made by every single person your contacts and others also refer, and there's no limits to this. There's no limits to how far and wide those referrals can go. So just like when you recommend a good movie, TV series, restaurant, cafe, book, food, homewares, beauty products, health products, or whatever, people tell people who then tell even more people, and it goes on and on. Word of mouth is the oldest and still today #1 most powerful and effective form of marketing in the world. There's no limits, especially, think about this, how connected the world is today. Word spreads worldwide, and ASEA is currently in 35 countries and opening new markets every year. Based on existing trends, the annual turnover is projected to exceed $500 million in the next 5 years. Residual income is very impressive, but more so, it's very important when you think about it like this. You have residual bills. Why not residual income? Do you know what happens to most people by the time they're 65? Out of every 100 people, only one of them is wealthy. Only 3 are financially secure. 7 must still work to survive at 65. They're not working because they want to. That's different. But they're working because they have to. They're a slave to the dollar. And 74 out of every 100 people are dependent on welfare by 65. So what is going wrong? What is that one main financial principle that the top 4% seem to have figured out that the other 81% didn't? It's how to make money that is no longer dependent on their paid by the hour, selling their time for money, labor intensive or own activity job, JOB, otherwise to me known as just over broke, or otherwise known as active income. Listen, sooner or later, you won't be able to be as active as you are right now. And therefore, you won't be able to have as much active income as you have right now. This may even be more concerning if you're thinking, well, my active income already isn't enough as it is. This is one of the biggest problems 81% of people get trapped in, this failing financial plan. Money is an excellent servant, but a terrible master. In other words, if you do not find a way to make money while you sleep, you will be a slave for money until you die. Now, I'm not saying jobs are bad. They're a great place to start for most of us. And if you truly do love your job, keep it. You're blessed. But still find a way to make money outside of your job that won't interfere with what you're currently doing, because only relying on a single source of active income is not smart and dangerous to your financial security. So for people who are smart, who've been wanting to be in the right place at the right time, who are able to recognize a good thing, who decide to take control of their finances and their freedom, for people who aren't happy with the amount of money that they have or how they have to make it, for people who have dreams and want a better life for themselves, for loved ones, a SIA is a significant opportunity to be paid a significant residual income from the inevitable growth of its global expansion to afford you those dreams and give you that real freedom. But really, there's nothing better than making a living from bettering people's lives. That's what you get to do with a SIA. Who we become and what we do is the biggest reward over and above any riches it will make us. Now, you can make great money here. That's for sure. And you can even be rewarded on top with all expenses paid trips to 5-star luxury locations all around the world. Have a really great time, meeting great people, making great friends, having great experiences, a great lifestyle. But really, at the end of the day, it's the effect we have on others. That is one of the most valuable currencies there is. And that is the heart of a SIA. And it was demonstrated because the truth is, after big pharmaceutical companies were shown tens of millions of dollars and 17 years worth of powerful research, clinical studies proving a SIA, those big drug companies offered to pay huge sums of money for the sole and exclusive rights to the ASEA Redox technology. However, they wanted ASEA to shut down. The drug companies wanted ASEA to shut down, and the drug companies wanted everyone taken off Redox. But thankfully, the founders of ASEA, Virtus and his son, Tyler Norton, they had the great foresight to see grave concerns and consequences in such a deal, because Virtus and Tyler saw people who went from severe health challenges that once left them and their doctors feeling hopeless to then experiencing life-changing power from Redox. And when Virtus and Tyler saw this, they were filled with a great sense of purpose, responsibility to get this breakthrough for humanity out to the world. And so they couldn't in good conscience sell out. And that's exactly why they didn't. They said no to the payout and yes to the people. You see, Virtus and Tyler, what had once started for them as just being a very big business play had now become more. The ASEA founders turned down that huge sum of money from big pharmaceutical companies, deciding to go the supplement route rather than the drug route in order to expedite the availability of this technology globally, making it available immediately to everyone without a prescription. And one of ASEA's foremost guiding principles was demonstrated here, as is perpetually demonstrated in every decision they make, and that is to always put people and principles before ego and economics. The ASEA founders and corporate team come from very big backgrounds, up to Fortune 50 backgrounds. They are exceptionally experienced when it comes to running very big, profitable, famous, household name companies, but their corporate soul revolves around putting people first, having an impact, making a difference, helping others to believe, belong, and become more, to be a force for good in the world. And so you're in very good hands. Get back with the person who shared this with you. Let them know what stood out to you the most. If you have any questions, ask them. They can point to where you can find the answers very easily. There's plenty of university studies. But most importantly, there's hundreds of thousands of real people's life-changing redox experiences for you to see. ASEA is the real deal. Do you want to be happier and healthier? Do you want to live younger, longer? Of course, right? And you just may want to become an ASEA customer. Or do you have dreams and desires? Do you want to be, do, and have, and able to give more? Do you want to help people be happier and healthier? Do you want a better life, income, lifestyle? Do you want to increase the prosperity of the planet? Do you want to make a difference in the world? Become part of this redox reality, and you can become more. If you'll just pass this information on for many, many others, you can better the lives of many, many others, and your life will become better in many, many ways. Thank you very, very much for spending this time with me. May you always be happy and well. And thank you very much, Kaleen, for looking after me. I'll hand it back to you.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stevie. So guys, we're at the end of our webinar. I'm just going to take a few minutes to show you how you can take advantage of these resources. Let me just rearrange my screen here for a moment. And again, if you've got any questions, now is a perfect time to put them in the chat box, because we like to be able to get to them, okay? So again, just bringing it back to, this is really all about the product. And ASEA as a company, as a biotechnology company, is creating a line of products that you see here in front of you that are in the niche of cellular health. So obviously the most unique products we have that we've taught you about tonight are the redox cell signaling molecules. And you can see that they're in the drinkable form, topical gel. And then to complement that, we have a phenomenal organic skincare line and raw materials, which are nutrition, that go with that. So just taking a moment to orient you as you make your decision after watching the webinar tonight of, would you like to get started on this product? Particularly on the drink, the ASEA Redox drink supplement. It's really important to not just try a bottle or just try it for a month, because as you can see from this graph, and this is based on literally 10 years of consumer knowledge, over 12 million bottles of this phenomenal drinkable supplement being consumed, that someone that just tries it for like a week to a month, they're going to maybe have a 10 to 15% reality that these molecules are making changes in the body. Whereas when you do a standard, at least 90-day trial, we always tell people really give it 3 to 6 months minimum. Don't do the drink if you don't want to really do a good program for 90 days or 3 months. You can see there's over, over 90% of the consumers that do this and do a correct plan based on their health goals, taking it every day, they really do see results, because it takes time to restore that cellular communication internally. And we know within moments of you trying the drink, you can measure blood work and you can see changes, but you may not perceive it because it's happening internally, right? Now, obviously you saw the amazing before and after pictures that Stevie showed us with the topical gel that's shown here, the ASEA Renew 28. And there's also another topical serum that's full of the molecules, and that's the royal blue tube that you see just to the left of the Renew 28, called Renew Advanced Serum, that's part of the whole skincare kit. That has twice the strength of the molecules that the gel has, and so it's also just a phenomenal resource, okay? And then finally, again, we didn't reinvent vitamins. Vitamins have been a part of our health culture for now over 100 years. But what our company realized is that they wanted to just continue to raise the bar on nutritional supplements. And what makes these vitamins very powerful are a couple of things. One is that they are all sourced from food. There's nothing synthetic in them. Also, each formula has a built-in absorption complex. So no matter what the condition of your gut health or digestive health is, you're guaranteed to absorb over 99% of the formula is going to get into your cells and into your body, and the redox molecules can work with it because of the absorption complex. Because as you guys probably know, it's not just what you take, but it's can your body actually absorb it and put it to use. And so this is one of the things I really love about these formulas. And you can get back to the person that invited you tonight to learn a bit more about that as well. And then this is just a quick orientation in terms of how to order your product. This last little piece here. You may sometimes find this for sale on places like Amazon or eBay. We really strongly encourage you to get back to the person that directly invited you to this webinar, because they are a distributor of the product. And when you order it from a distributor, you're getting it directly from the company. And so you're guaranteed the quality and purity of our products. You are guaranteed that you're not going to get shipped expired product. We found sometimes people selling it incorrectly on Amazon. They're just trying to offload some old product. Also, then that way you know it's safe. And also you get hands-on product and education support directly from your distributor, as well as customer service at our main office where the product is made. And that's priceless, because this is kind of a unique and different supplement. And then you also get to take advantage of what we call free, it's a free product program, our loyalty rewards program, which brings the cost of your product down throughout the year significantly. So again, Stevie was inviting you to think about, would you just like to be a consumer? Then you can take advantage of wholesale pricing or pay full price. Or would you like to get your product paid for? Or even have some additional income, you know? And so there's whatever your goals are. We can definitely help you create a business strategy if you'd like to share this with others. There are some of us like myself and Stevie and Danny who have made this our full-time profession, and it is possible, and it's really fun to make a difference in people's lives this way. This visual just shows you very quickly that there are different accounts you can open to order product yourself directly, and our company ships it directly to you. You can see with the wholesale accounts, you do get a 25% discount off the product. You also are eligible for our free product program by earning loyalty rewards. If you choose to open up what we call the associate account, which also allows you to share it with others, there's a one-time $40 US dollar fee to open up that account, or the equivalent currency in your country. And then once a year, to keep all those benefits of that account, you pay a $25 renewal fee, right? And you also have access to first-time enrollment packages that you can ask the person that invited you about and get more details. So the real goal here is to support your body's ability to maintain and reclaim health, which is so important. Even if you're super healthy and athletic, we're all aging. And so it's nice to be able to live longer and better and stronger even as we age. And we're going to close the webinar with this incredible quote from one of our founders, Vertus Norton. He says, "We are all at the start of something big with great purpose. And right now is the moment that we begin influencing the future. We can change the world." And I share that with you because, especially in this crazy year that we've all been participating in, it's really important to, on whatever level it's real to you, to go out there and be a change maker, speak truth, help people feel calm and safe and connected to each other. And take this knowledge that you've learned tonight about ASEA Redox molecules and about ASEA as a company, and get all your questions answered. Get started on the product if you're ready, and work out a product plan based on your health goals so that you're guaranteed results, and make sure that you definitely take it long enough as well. So with that, that officially ends our webinar. We're really glad that you joined us. In about 3 minutes, if you'd like to stay on the Zoom channel, those of us that are distributors and help share ASEA with others are going to be joining some team training for about 30 minutes. And you're, even as a guest, welcome to stay on for that if you'd like. And Danny, you did mention another webinar tomorrow night. Can you remind us of the time?
First and foremost, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is your last call of the year with us until we get into the new year. So we'll see you next year.
Absolutely.
On this one.
That's great.
Great job. Thanks for holding the fort. You've done an incredible job. I love how you close out with how do you explain how people can get access to the product, the packages, and just elaborate on everything that we go through. We do have a call which everybody's invited to stay on. It's a global expansion team call. Cindy will be coming on shortly. The last Discover ASEA for the whole year is tomorrow at 9 p.m. Pacific. It's quite late for the mainland for you guys in Australia, and for you guys over in Asia, the timing's good. And the West Coast, it's not too bad. As I said, at 9 p.m. Pacific. Us in Hawaii, we get it here at 7 p.m. So thanks again, Kaleen. And Milton, thank you for lending us your wife. Spent so much time with us. All the best, mate. Happy holidays. Happy New Year. Cindy, how you doing?
I'm great, Danny. How are you doing?
I'm excited. Always.
Always. That's great. Well, listen, we've got a great call organized tonight about neuro-linguistic programming, and we've got Zen joining us here. And so if everybody can put their screens on speaker view, we will record this, and then we will post it on the ASEA United Facebook page, as well as our Atomic Wellness Facebook page. So we've got less than a minute before we get started. That training will last 1.5 hours. And I'll give you a little bit of an idea of how blessed we are to have Zen teach us about neuro-linguistic programming, and then we'll listen carefully so that we can improve our skills of persuasion. I think she's going to talk about mostly tonight. So as soon as we hit the top of the hour, we'll hit the record button, and we'll go from there. So if there's anybody that you'd like to join us, and there's the top of the hour right there. So just text them real quickly right now. I'm going to start the recording here.
Yeah, get everybody on, guys. This is our last Global Expansion Team call of this year.
That's right. So welcome everybody to an ASEA Global Expansion Team Zoom. Our guest speaker tonight is Zen. Let me tell you a little bit about her, if I can find it. And now, of course, my little introduction has gone away. So I'm just going to tell you that Zen has been studying neuro-linguistic programming for over 30 years now. And she gave us a little snippet on the Power Half Hour the other morning about some concepts having to do with neuro-linguistic programming. But it's really important to really become aware of how we're communicating with other people, and also how we're communicating with ourselves. So Zen, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for inviting me, Cindy.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm just going to hand the ball over to you, and for the next half an hour, we're going to dive into neuro-linguistic programming. So Zen, over to you.
All right, here we go. So this is like a first major presentation on Zoom. I'm normally in an audience and getting feedback, so I'll just pick up on who you are. When Cindy invited me, what I decided to do is to look over the skill set that I've been teaching for like 30 years and come up with the greatest hits. So one of the things that's really important for us to understand is over 90% of what's going on in our brain is beneath our conscious level of awareness. Well, what does that mean? It means that only less than 5% of what we say and do and are aware of, that's how much of our brain we're using. So to really understand yourself and to really understand other people, it's very important to understand what's going on beneath our conscious level of awareness. So where to start? Okay. To understand how you can become aware of what you're not aware of, I'm going to ask, how many of you were thinking about your left elbow till right now? Right? And as you think about your left elbow, all of a sudden it's in your conscious awareness. Well, the truth is, we can't change anything, we can't affect anything consciously until we're aware of it. So a lot of what communications are about what's going on beneath the surface level of the words that we use. So let's start with something that's really important in the land of network marketing. You know, one of the things that, you know, I wrote out this whole introduction for Cindy, and it included that I'll be launching my own ASEA business. So I am one of you. We have the Vulcan Mind Melt. I am a big fan of redox molecules. I think the impact that, especially now, where health is at the forefront of everybody's mind, to be able to offer people, to put the power of their own health in their hands, in our hands, is truly earth-shifting. And so to me, it's very important to get the word out that this is happening. So what I ask of you is to take notes, because I'm going to dump a whole lot of information on you. Yes, you can go back and listen to the video. However, take some notes. And what I ask is that you have one big takeaway. All right, just in the back of your mind, there's one thing I am going to walk away with. So let me begin. You know, in the world of business that we're in, people's why are so important. You know, I've been coaching for 30 years. People's why is always important. So understanding what motivates people, what gets us moving, what gets someone to say yes, what gets someone to say, yeah, I want to be in business with you and I'm going to do what it takes to make it happen. Well, there are two primary motivational strategies that humans have. We're either going towards what we want or away from what we don't want. Let's look at that. You know, I went through the 7-day Eric Worre recruiting challenge. I did his virtual GoPro this past month. And there was a man named Tom Chenault. I guess he's an old-time MLMer. And he spoke of the gift of desperation. You know, how many stories have you heard of people who are incredibly successful in network marketing that were at the grocery store and didn't have enough money to buy their kids milk and their next meal? That is the ultimate of away from, right? There's something big and ugly chasing you. There are bill collectors. There are people who don't wish you well. There are circumstances you want to avoid. That's the away from strategy. Very effective, but doesn't really feel good. Doesn't add to your happiness quotient. Okay, so what happens with a lot of those people that I've heard about in network marketing that have done so well is that after their major desperation moments are over, the culture of this company, especially, it's about your dream, about creating the life that you love. And that's what I've done for these many years in coaching, right? That's the towards. That's the time freedom, the money freedom, living your life on your own terms. Know that the very best strategies are a combination of towards and away from, right? So something's kind of chasing you. You don't want to go back to where you were. But there's something so compelling in the future that you are drawn. And what that does, I spent 4 years of my career as a happiness coach. How do we create happiness? And truly shifting your motivation and what's important to you to a towards rather than away from strategy makes all the difference in the world for how happy you are in your life and with who you are. So, okay, we are always communicating. We're either communicating with ourselves or we're communicating with other people. Think about it. When is your mind totally quiet? You're not aware of it when you're sleeping, but you're busy then too. So what I want to start with is how we communicate with ourselves. And I'm going to just cherry pick some of the big chunks that can make a huge difference. The first is our internal dialogue. What do you say to yourself? How do you speak to yourself? When I first started becoming aware of what was going on inside of myself, I realized that I said things to myself that I wouldn't dream of saying to another person. I was nasty. I was mean. And then I learned how to break it down. What's actually going down inside my head, because I was working with others and I needed to help them shift their internal dialogue. So for those of you who want to play, I'm going to do a little exercise that you can do on your own. Nobody's looking at you. You can feel free. I'm guessing that most of you have had an experience of a negative internal dialogue, right? You shoot yourself down. You're not good enough. You don't deserve this. It's scary. I can't do it. Whatever that is for you, I want you to just sit back wherever you are for just a moment and take a couple of really nice, deep, cleansing breaths. Just in through your nose, out through your mouth. Take a couple more. What I want you to do is I want you to hear your internal voice say something to you that is something less than empowering. Whatever that is. Now what I want you to do is I want you to notice from what direction that voice is coming. Now, I want you to notice whose voice is it? Very often it's a parent, a teacher, someone who was critical of us when we grew up, and that voice stays with us, but it doesn't have to. So what I want you to do is I want you to take that voice, wherever it's located, whoever it is, and notice the tonality. And now what we're going to do is we are going to move that voice. I want you to take that voice and move it to your left big toe. Right now. Just zip that voice to your big toe. And I am going to play a little circus music for you while you're doing it. Play that voice again. Is it still the same? I want you to feel it in your big toe. Oh, wait a minute. Now what I want you to do, I want you to give that voice a shot of helium so that if it was, you're not good enough, it becomes, you're not good enough. That's right. Make it Minnie Mouse. Take that voice and shift the quality. Whether you can do it right here and now, perhaps not, but you can go back over the recording. That's a way that I have helped scores of people free themselves of a negative internal voice that has stopped them. I had a lawyer client once came to me, close. What I want you to do actually right now is, I'm not looking at you, sorry. Come on back to the room. Come on back to your screen. Know that that voice will never play exactly the same again. If you need to run it through again and again, you can run through this exercise as often as you like till you get the results that you need. To tell you how powerful this can be, I had an attorney come to me who was a partner in a big LA law firm. He had just won the biggest case of his life. And he felt like an abject loser. And he couldn't figure it out. Had a great marriage, wonderful family, successful at business. So I put him in a state kind of like what I started to just now with you. relaxed, got chanced out, went, got that voice. It was his father's voice who said, "That's not good enough. You can do better." Well, when we said it to his big toe and gave it some healing and let him then shoot it off into the ethers, he called me 3 weeks later. He said, "I've never been happier in my life. I don't hear that voice anymore. It's gone now." Just like yours can be. Your voice of criticism can be gone. So now let's move for a moment to how we communicate with other people, right? There are 3 primary ways that we communicate. Once again, knowing that like 95% is beneath our conscious level of awareness. Have you ever met someone that within 5, 10, 15 minutes, you feel like you've known them your whole life, right? You're comfortable, you love them, and everything they say makes you smile. And it's the same for them with you. What's going on there? Well, people like themselves, right? When you talk about, well, what did you like about them? Oh my God, they got their master's degree in English and I got my master's degree in English. And they came from a family of 4 and I came from a family of 4. And they love to go to the Caribbean and so do I. I mean, we have so much in common. So if you really want to be a better communicator, it's about expanding your awareness of other people's world, how they organize everything around them in such a way that you become fluent in their language of reality. Now, the thing I talked about in the 5-minute piece that I did for Cindy a couple weeks ago, there are 4 primary ways our brain takes in information. We see things. It's about being visual. We hear things. It's about being auditory. We feel things, both sensory and emotionally. That's called kinesthetic. And then we think. We're logical. Now, most of us are functioning on all 4 levels, but we all have a primary and a secondary level. And that's important to know because it shows up in people's words, right? If someone's agreeing with you and there's visual, they'll say, "I see what you mean. I get the picture. That looks good to me." Now, what you want to do is you want to use the same language back to them that they've used for you. Like Cindy texted me last night and she said, set to go with a question mark. And my response was going to be, yeah, I'm ready to go. But it was like, whoops, wait a second, I'm not even following my own stuff. So I texted her back and I said, set to go. And there's a method to this madness. You know how you love that person without knowing why? This is one of the major reasons why. Now, the language they use, the actual words, are only about 7% of the meaning conveyed from one person to the next. The next biggest chunk is the way we say those words. It's like if you had a script and all your line was hello, right? You could say hello, or you could say hello, or you could say hello, right? The way you say the word makes a huge difference. So the tonality that someone uses, the pace, the pitch, do they have a high pitch? It doesn't mean that you necessarily mock them. You don't imitate them, but you go in the direction. Let's say someone speaks slowly. They're going to be kinesthetic. They're going to come from their feelings. It's got to feel right for them. They can wrap their arms around the solution. Maybe that leaves them a little cold. what you want to do, as you would do with in any other language, if you were with someone who was Italian, you spoke Italian, but you insisted on speaking English, the communication's not going to go very well. But when you develop the flexibility to be able to speak in other people's language, you will find the doors of the numbers of people that you can influence, you can relate with, you can enjoy, will expand exponentially. So what I offer to you is that you have the opportunity in learning some of this stuff, in opening up this door, of expanding your flexibility of communication to be able to communicate with a much broader range of people and establish a deep rapport with them. Because truly, who do you want to do business with? Do you want to do business with someone who's totally different, who doesn't understand you, who speaks a different language? Wouldn't you rather work with someone who's right on the same page with you? You understand each other, you get each other, you're able to communicate in the same way. That's what I'm offering, that you can make a choice, right? When everything's on an unconscious level, we have no choice. But as soon as you become aware, just like your left elbow, when you become aware that there's a whole other world in the land of communication that you can actually learn, your powers of persuasion will increase exponentially. Okay, one more little piece here. There are very subtle uses of language that make a huge difference in the impact that you have both on yourself and with others. And I'm going to send Cindy a little article that I wrote about this, but I'm going to give you some of these language upgrades. The first one is and but. All right, the word but immediately negates whatever happened at the front end of that sentence. Think of it this way. I love you, but you know it's not good news on the other side, right? I love you and I love you, but if you don't pick up your clothes off the floor, I'm walking out of here and never coming back. As opposed to, I love you, and would you please pick up your clothes? The word and makes equal weight to the two sides of the sentence. The word but negates one. Now you can use this in your advantage. I've had coaching clients that don't understand when a session is complete. And what I've learned is when you start to mismatch someone, instead of matching them to gain rapport, you intentionally mismatch them. Like if they're leaning towards you, which usually means they're quite interested, you lean back. If they say something one way, you say it an entirely different way. And when people wouldn't get that at that point, what I would do was I would just stand up. And they didn't know what was going on, but they found themselves standing up, and we were walking towards the door. So there's a way to use this stuff consciously, where you either create rapport, or there are occasional times when you want to break rapport, and you can know how to do that too. And but. The next one is if and when. If I lose 20 pounds, then I'm taking myself to Paris. Think of it and compare it with, when I lose 20 pounds, I am taking myself to Paris. If you can build your business, then you can retire with comfort. When you build your business, then you can retire in comfort. Now, this is really good for use for ourselves, and it's really good when you're coaching your downline. When you've got your leaders and you're coaching them, these language upgrades really make a big difference. Next one, this and that. So this success right here is with me. That success is over there. So some people have this problem. Other people have that problem. Well, the people with that problem have a whole lot easier time getting away from it than the people who have this problem. Now, once again, you can turn that around. I have this joy as opposed to that joy. You want this joy right here, right inside you. That joy, that can stay over there. Present tense and past tense. Well, I am having a difficult time. Present tense. If I suddenly shift it to the past tense, I was having a difficult time. By putting something in the past, your unconscious mind goes, oh, not now, then. So you have your unconscious mind, your 95% tugging in the direction that you want to go, as opposed to that 5% when you don't have conscious and unconscious agreement. Last one of these is my very favorite. You will hear yourself, you will hear other people say, I just can't do it. I can't do it. I know what I'm supposed to, can't do it. Adding one word changes that exponentially. That one magical word is yet. Once again, we're talking about programming our unconscious mind. So when you say, I can't do that yet, there is a presupposition that you will be able to do it, just the time hasn't come yet. It's a wonderful way to turn things around in your mind. If you find yourself on a negative streak, all right, I can't do it, I don't, yet. Makes all the difference in the world. Okay, I'm going to leave you with a little story, and it's my hope that you find yourself as part of it in the end. You know, we're in a world of chaos right now, and I truly don't believe that we are ever going back to anything that we would call normal. I don't think there is a normal yet. And the good news for us is that we are perfectly positioned. We have a home-based online business with a product line that is absolutely extraordinary, that puts the power of people's health in their own hands. It is part of what I call the new earth. And here's the story behind it. So there's a caterpillar, and a caterpillar has around 7 billion cells, kind of like the number of people on Earth. Well, when the caterpillar is growing and it's eating, every one of those cells has a job. It's like humans, right? They've all got their jobs. They're doing respiration. They're doing elimination. They're doing mobility. Everybody's got a job. And the caterpillar's a voracious eater. It will destroy a plant until something clicks inside and it knows to stop. Well, when it stops eating, it starts sloughing off digestive cells. And when it starts doing that, all of the other systems start to shut down. There is chaos, there is panic. Every one of the cells is convinced that that's it. It's the end of life. The cells get sick. Cells commit suicide. But there's another kind of cell in there, biologically identical. They're called imaginal cells. And these imaginal cells react to the same situation very differently. Rather than seeing it as the end, they see it as an opportunity. They see it as a new beginning. And what they are is they're the harbingers of new thought. They're the leaders that say, wait, calm down. Okay, yes, we're no longer going to be a caterpillar. The caterpillar age is over, but come on. We're going to find something even better. And so the cell follows suit. And we know what happens. The caterpillar becomes a butterfly. And the butterfly is so light and so gentle on its environment. And so what I offer is that everyone on this call, all of us, are imaginal cells. You know, ASEA is like from the future. I see it as like Star Trek. You know, Doc comes around and waves his tricorder on you and go, ah, here you go. Drink these molecules. This is exactly what you need. Your body needs to heal itself. Well, we are the imaginal cells for a new world, a new earth, a new economy, a new way of being. And so I offer that we are going from humans to humanity, from me to we. That we are working together. What I love about ASEA is the collaboration. I'm not in your downline. I'm not anywhere near it. And it's my joy to share what it is that I can to help any one of you become even more of who you imagine yourself to be. And I thank you so much for this opportunity. Thanks, Cindy.
Fantastic, Zen. Thank you so much. I mean, yeah, lots and lots of notes, lots and lots of thoughts. And I'm sure with practice, it becomes easier and easier and more deliberate. And yeah, but incredibly rich content. So thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom with us tonight.
You're very welcome.
Zen, thank you. I could listen to you all day.
Thanks,
and I
Danny.
can tell you that communicating with people is one of my strengths, but I think after what I just heard, it's one of my weaknesses. So thank you so much.
No, it's getting consciously competent, right?
I get it. I get
You're
getting in there.
unconsciously brilliant.
Yeah, no, thank you. Really appreciate everything you said, and it's helped me. This is the thing that I love, talking and listening and hearing people like you. And this is what we do to learn, to grow as leaders. So really appreciate you coming on tonight.
My pleasure, Danny. Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. Well, everybody, I hope you had a wonderful holiday, and we're only going to have an even better new year coming up, and it's going to be an incredible 2021. Go ahead, Zen.
Oh, I just want to remind people that I will be sending you the cheat sheet for the language upgrades, so that if anyone wants to find me or you want to send me an email or something, you'll be able to do it through there.
Perfect. And we'll post that with the recording on the ASEA United site, as well as the Atomic Wellness Facebook site.
Thank you.
All righty. Fantastic call. Thank you so much, Zen. Good night,
My
everybody.
pleasure.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
See you next year.
Next year. Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Fantastic, Zen. Thank you.
You're very welcome.